Hello everyone, today I want to make a tutorial on how to do rotation using only math. Right now I have a gun rotating around the base point and it's shooting towards that target right there. So I could move this around. They're not parented to each other, just the spawn point for the bullets that are coming out of the gun. I could move this around and it still stays at the same point, and I could move that around here. It follows it, looks at it. And let's focus on the gun, see what it's doing. Click on it and hold down F, it's shooting at that location. Alright, so let's get to it. Okay, so let's start with a simpler scene. Here I have two cubes, and this is the one I'm going to rotate around this cube. And I have a camera here. I might just use it. I might just run the game so you could just see it in game running. But I'm gonna turn them into a tool so I could run them in the editor. So first, let's create a script on the object to rotate. First, we get a reference to the center box. That's this box right here, the middle box. Then we get the radius. This is how far the arc of the circle is gonna be away. You know what a radius is. And this is gonna be the current angle, which will increase over time, and then loop it so it goes back to 0, and it's gonna be in radians, so it stops at 6.28. And this is gonna be the rotation speed. I use degrees just so I could convert it. To start out, we're gonna grab the distance from the center point and use that as the radius. In the process function, we increase the angle. Oops, let me fix that. We increase the angle by the rotation speed, and we convert it to radians and times it by delta. Then we check if it's at 360. That's that in radians. Then we change it back to 0, so it doesn't spin to infinity. Now we get the point, which is gonna be the center of the center object, or the location of the center object. Then the ratio, so we use cosine for the x coordinate. We're not using the y coordinate, and for the z coordinate we use the sine. I could pretty much explain these. The cosine is the adjacent of an angle divided by the hypotenuse, and then the sine is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. Okay, now we set the global position, or the origin, be the point plus the ratio, and then times that by the radius, and that should allow this to rotate. So let's go back here. Could run this scene. It just work. There you go. So basically what I'm doing is setting the position based on the angle. So the object itself isn't rotating, so we can use that rotation for whatever we want locally on the object itself. Could go in the script and set this to be an actual tool. So save, then we're gonna get some weird errors. So just reload the scene. And now this should rotate in the editor. So as I could see, I could click on it. I could rotate it wherever I want. If I can grab those handles, rotation. You could rotate it wherever I want. Right. So here's some examples. Here's a star system I made. Load it up and can run it. So what I have is the planets are rotating around the sun, and then each moon for the planets are rotating around their respective planets. Could figure out how to do that. So each one has their own script. Well, each planet is using a planet script and the moon's using a moon script. And for the moons, I'm just doing telling it which planet it should grab. So could tell it to follow planet 1, 2, or 3. There you go. Alright, and then for the weapon now, the one I showed you in the beginning, my personal favorite. Spend a few minutes trying to make this. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the same rotation, but I have an offset value that I use to control the elevation of the weapon. So I could select this weapon here, the offset, how high or low I want it to be, in relation to the center thing here. And then I have the distance. Could freely control that in this. So if I set it to 0, there won't be any rotation. It'll just stay right where it is. Click on this one, move it around, and it follows it like a regular weapon on a swivel. You can see how this would be useful for, like, maybe you have a character that flies around your head, going back and forth and shooting at stuff. Yep. So that's pretty much it. And I grab the distance, just the same in the beginning, and the timer for the weapon. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let me go back to basic one. Let's have a look at it. Alright, take care guys. Like and subscribe.